All right, looks like we're live. I'm here with my frequent sidekick, Artistic Layman.
I want to know the truth.
I'm interested only in justice.
Aren't they the same?
And a couple of things to talk about tonight. First, let's talk about the Yang Gang shit a little bit, because a lot of people in my circle are going on about this shit. I kind of wanted to ignore it for a little while because I thought it was really stupid and really kind of artificial, but I guess it's catching on a little bit more than I thought it would. So let me first come out and cards on the table here. This is fucking retarded. All right. I'm not going to vote for Chairman Mao because he promised me 1,000 neat bucks. What the fuck is wrong with everybody? Are there things about Yang's positions I like? Sure. Do I like the idea of the Democrats also moving in a more populist direction? Sure. But no, I'm not voting for Chairman Mao to give me my neat bucks. All right. I'm voting Trump in 2020. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Am I completely happy with Trump? No. Am I, do I think he should have worked harder on certain things? Absolutely. Is there a better option? Fuck no.
So the Yang Gang is not ironic, right? Or it's...
I hope. Oh, just got a $50 super chat. Thank you very much. Brendan says, happy belated birthday, Bechtloff. That's right. I called you Bechtloff. In all seriousness, I find it hilarious that all Davis can insult you with, pardon me, is that you read comics and play video games. Meanwhile, he's chasing the snail trail of some geriatric slag. Ooh, that is harsh.
Ooh.
Harsh but fair. Yeah, but this Yang Gang shit, this is ridiculous. Okay, now let's tell a little story here, because I'm hardly new to politics. Okay, I've been interested in politics and looking into it heavily since I was like 15, and I'm getting a little old. 15 was longer ago than I care to admit. And my politics in the last few years have shifted a little bit. For most of my life, my life that I was interested in politics, I was a pretty strict libertarian. I've shifted a bit on that, but at my core, I still have the political mindset of, get off my lawn. I still wish to be left alone. I've shifted a bit more nationalist on that. I've gotten a bit more red-pilled on certain questions regarding race in general and a long-nosed tribe in particular. But at my heart of hearts, I want to be left alone. I want the boot off my neck. Whether that boot is corporate or government, at the end of the day, I don't care. I want it off my neck. And I don't particularly want it on anybody else's neck in my heart of hearts. I'm willing to accept it going on the neck of people that wish to harm me. But at the end of the day, that's my primary political motivation is get off my lawn. Get off my lawn and have you heard of Jesus are basically the only two causes I have at the end of the day. But like I said, I've been politically minded for a while, and I really, really hated the fucking Republicans during the Bush years. I understood that they were technically closer to me politically than the Democrats. But in a way, I almost found that more infuriating. Because at least I understood the Democrats. At least I understood the metrics and the heuristics they were using to come to their decisions. The Republicans seem to be all over the fucking place. That boomer neo-connery, it was just utter retardation. I really, really hated W. I still do hate W. If this was a just and sane country, W would have been executed as a war criminal. as would Obama. With W, yeah, fuck him. Also, if this was a just insane country, about this time, Bill Clinton would just now be eligible for parole in prison. Sadly, that's not the country we have. I hated W, and I really, really, as I got into Christianity, in the early to mid 2000s, as I, was reluctantly dragged into the church by the Hound of Heaven, I really, really hated the fawning over W that evangelicals were all about. I really hate it when you compare it to Trump. When you compare how the disdain so many evangelical leaders have for Trump, where they just damn near worship W. I'll put Trump's character over W any day. Any day. W is a piece of shit who spent his entire money pissing away his his entire life pissing away his daddy's money. Most of it going up his nose. Hell, look at the kids. You can at least partially judge a man by the children he raises. Trump, despite opulence and divorce, managed to raise pretty much all well-adjusted children for the most part. W raised two twerking whores who are almost as feral as fucking Barry Obama's probably not kids. Probably not his kids, but that's a whole different topic. Anyways, in 2006, I actually voted Democrat for the first time in my life. I don't even remember the motherfucker's name, but he was running against Santorum, and I was so mad at the Republicans. And here we had this shitbag neocon. Yeah, he was Catholic, but politically speaking, he was in line with the worst political aspects of my fellow evangelicals. I hated Santorum. Fuck him. So I was like, he's got to go. And the Democrats ran just across the country in 2006 on an anti-war mandate. And they won on an anti-war mandate. They won control of both the House and the Senate. And what did they do? When they had the clearest mandate that had been seen in an election in decades, they ignored it. Now, they like to say that, oh, we're powerless to stop the war. W is the commander-in-chief, which is bullshit, because the House has the purse strings. The House can put the brakes on anything the federal government is doing. They can just cut off the money. But anyways, I voted against Santorum. And I want to emphasize that point. I voted against Santorum. Not for his opponent. I voted against Santorum. Because fuck Santorum. And fuck the Republicans at that point. I voted against him. I wanted the endless bullshit stupid wars to end. That's what I voted for a Democrat for. I didn't get that. They didn't even try. God bless Trump. He's at least kind of tried to fulfill his promises. The Democrats didn't in that case. And then in 2008, we had old Barry. And I considered voting for him. Now, I knew he was a piece of shit. I knew he was a communist. But I thought, I really, really like his rhetoric on foreign policy. And I really, really like his anti-war stance. And I hate McCain. McCain, we quite possibly dodged a bullet compared with Barry versus McCain. McCain was pure fucking evil. So I thought, I don't think I can vote for old Barry. I think I'm going to write in Ron Paul, was what I decided to do. Or maybe I voted for the Libertarian guy. I can't remember. But I was sort of rooting for Barry. Because I thought maybe it would teach the Republicans a lesson. I thought maybe it would be a Carter kind of thing, where the Republicans would have to spend a few years in the wilderness and they'd come back with a decent presidential candidate. Which I guess I was kind of right. I was just 4 years off of how long it would take. But I was rooting for Barry, and I was taking no small amount of satisfaction in watching Republicans assholes not able to comprehend why they were losing. Well, gee, you were losing because you dragged us into pointless wars and under your watch wrecked the economy. In fact, it's actually a testament to how bad of a candidate Barack Obama was that he didn't beat McCain, harder than he did.
Here's what I can tell you, though. As a person of small reputation and little backwater pools on the internet, I spent months defending John McCain as the Republican nominee. Not because he was my first choice or my second choice or my third choice, because he wasn't. I did it because I felt I had some idea of what this Obama tsunami was going to bring.
Now, I say that to mention the fact that you may recall that Barack Obama did not institute the type of foreign policy he advocated. He did not pull us out of a bunch of foreign entanglements. He basically had the exact same policy as Bush, except he was worse at it. So twice in my young, still pretty young life, I thought, well, maybe the Democrats are the better option.
There was always enough money
because of this thing that they're proposing, and it was the anti-war thing at the time. And twice, they didn't keep that promise. The Democrats have never been anti-war. The Democrats, at least for most of my lifetime, have never been pro-worker. So there may be some things you like about Yang, but it's not going to do it. Are you telling me you're going to trust a Democrat?
Not only that, he had the power to do amazing things. He must have had, because he said he would.
This was the moment when the rise of the oceans began to slow and our planet began to heal.
I liked Obama. I shouldn't say liked. I liked that Obama was winning because, again, I thought maybe he'd actually keep his promises on the foreign policy stuff. And also, I thought it was a lesson the Republicans needed to learn.
When there's a bill that ends up on my desk as president, you, the public, will have 5 days to look online and find out what's in it before I sign it. I have ordered the closing of the detention center at Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, that's still open, last I checked. Brendan also sends to Brendan Lucero or Lucero. I'm not sure. I'm always bad with names. Forgive me. But Brendan sends $10 and says, I have much respect for Forney, but he's wrong on this. I'm not voting for someone who wants my guns. I'll take my Second Amendment over incel bucks any day. Now, look, in Forney's defense, he is sort of just saying that there's things about Yang that need to be paid attention to. Forney isn't going whole hog on the Yang thing. But I don't know. It's a Democrat. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? It's a Democrat. I don't need to hear anything else about him. There hasn't been a Democrat in a political office in my lifetime, with the exception of Dennis Kucinich, that doesn't deserve a firing squad. And by the way, the majority of the Republicans also deserve that. But it's 100% again, with one outlier on the Democrats in my lifetime. Even Dennis Kucinich, I wouldn't have wanted as president. I just had a certain amount of respect for him. Forney says, did anyone actually watch the show I did today, or are you just reading? Forney, I'm not picking on you. I'm talking about the Yang Gang phenomenon as a whole. No, I didn't catch your show yet today. I was working. I don't get my neat bucks yet, so I was working. No, I'm just talking about the Yang Gang phenomenon as a whole. I'm not picking on Forney here. All right. Yeah, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not supporting Chairman Mao because he promised me some neat bucks. It's not happening. Somebody says Ron Paul 2028 play the long game. Yeah, I don't think Ron Paul will be alive at that point. He's already like 100, isn't he? But yeah, I don't get this. I don't get the Yang Gang thing. Like again, is it nice the idea that the Democrats might be moving in a more populist direction? Yes, and then the post office bank thing is actually a pretty good idea. I like that. But yeah, I'm not throwing in my lot with the Yang Gang. All right, this is ridiculous.
The use of words expressing something other than their literal intention. Now that is irony.
Forney says, if you don't, if you re over Yang, you're setting yourself up for President Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in 2024. After I watched that video on how Cortez came to be, this is quite interesting. So apparently, Cortez is basically a puppet of what the hell is his name? Chunk Yu-Gi-Oh. Chunk Yu-Gi-Oh.
And the Just Democrats.
And the Justice Democrats. Yeah. They set this shit up. And they got a couple of guys that are basically puppets. I got news for you. That's what's going to take over the Democrat Party. Okay. That's what all the Democrats are going to be here by 2024. Which, by the way, why the fuck didn't the alt-right do that? Why the fuck didn't the alt-right pull shit like that? Why were they too busy fucking their mother-in-laws and going on goon marches? Okay, I said before that 2018 was what we had immediately needed to look towards after 2016. Dashing Rogue sends $5, says, Yay, the Yang Gang people are PO because they choose bad degrees and played all summer while the ants worked their butts off, and now winter is coming. Well, I mean, I'm not going to go that far because, look, our whole generation was lied to about, getting bad degrees. And look, I'm understanding the desire for the neat bucks because, I mean, the boomers left us with Rebel. They left us with Rebel.
And not to sound too much like a pessimist, but I don't know, would people of our alt-right circles have made progress into politics? I mean, maybe we could have taken over the Republican Party, but how much further than that?
I don't know. I mean, would you have thought Chunk Yu-Gi-Oh would have become damn near the most powerful person in the Democrat Party?
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, they are a bunch of demagogues.
Yeah, but he's almost retarded.
Well, from what I understand,
he's dumb as pig. No. Let's be real. He's dumb as pig shit. Now he has some basic animal cunning about him, and he's ruthless as a fucking scorpion. All right, but he is a dumb motherfucker. You ever hear him rant when he's like slightly off script? He sounds like your gym teacher. But you know what he did? He got together a bunch of fucking rejected, butthurt political strategists from the Bernie campaign and said, let's hire some fucking actresses and run them for Congress. And then there are fucking bitches now. There's a reason why Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez sounds pretty decent when she's on script and sounds like a blithering fucking retarded e-thought when she's not. Okay? It's the same reason why Mark Ruffalo can sound like a fucking genius in an Avengers movie. It's because someone wrote a script for him. Yeah, why didn't Spencer do that? Don't get me wrong, I don't like Spencer, and I'm not particularly keen on the idea of Spencer having tremendous political power. Maybe a little bit more keen on that than fucking Chunk Yu-Gi-Oh! Why didn't he do that?
If you got a business, that you didn't build that.
Why didn't any of these alt-right types do this shit?
They wanted to have like rallies and get banned from Twitter and banking.
And I know there's a bit more, there's probably some Soros money getting funded into Chunk Yu-Gi-Oh! I get it. I get that the whole, the whole playing field is skewed against the right now. I get it. I get that, people on the right, you got to play twice as hard. I get it. Fine. Okay. But the point is, you saw what happened between November of 2016 and November of 2018. You saw what the fuck happened. You saw the dissident right shit its pants. Meanwhile, the big brown buffalo was scheming away. And now the superstar of the Democrat Party, his hand is up her ass making her talk.
Now, I didn't have to go digging for evidence for this because they freely admit it. They brag about it.
Back in 2016, we put out a call for nominations. We got over 10,000 nominations. Out of those 10,000 nominations, we found Alexandria.
Yeah. That's about where we're at now. That's about where we're at. But no, I'm sorry. Like I said, are there things about Yang that seem appealing? Certainly, the post office bank thing. That's a pretty cool idea. I like that. But he's also a communist, and he needs to get out of my helicopter. And I'm not going to support Chairman Mao because he promised me 1,000 neat bucks. All right. I voted Democrat once in my life. And I kind of felt like it wasn't the right thing to do, but maybe it was, maybe whatever. I didn't feel good about it. And sure enough, I don't even remember what the fuck the guy's name was. Sure enough, he did nothing to fulfill the promises that I actually liked. I don't trust a fucking Democrat. Come on. Also, I have to wonder if, Yang's not going to get the nomination. Okay. Either the old guard Democrats are going to get it. Not Hillary. I think she said she's not going to run. Hopefully she'll be dead soon. But someone of that corner of things. Or I don't know. Maybe Chunk Yu-Gi-Oh's next fucking Muppet. But yeah, Yang has less of a shot than Bernie did. All right, shifting topics. Here's an interesting article from just yesterday. We're going to talk about from. I've been combing through some Julie Rohr's stuff, and I've been keeping tabs on the newer articles because she's been covering the hell out of this harvest stuff. In fact, I'm going to actually take a shot in the dark and actually message her and see if I can get her on. I doubt it because she's probably a bigger name than me, and not only that, you know, I say shit and fuck every once in a while, so my fellow evangelicals won't touch me. There's a funny line. My favorite preacher, Steve Brown, said this once, and I love it. He goes, "The problem with the church is that while we believe in the depravity of man, we'll shun you the moment you show any evidence of it." So the ECFA accreditation of harvest, despite glaring improprieties, raises concern. The Evangelical Council for Financial Accountability, ECFA, says its mission is enhancing trust in Christ-centered churches and ministries. Yet, as I've reported on this blog and World Magazine, Harvest Bible Chapel, which continues to be accredited by the ECFA, has engaged in extremely disconcerting and potentially fraudulent activity. For example, the church has repeatedly used money donated for one purpose to fulfill other purposes. That is putting it mildly. Money given to Walk in the Word, the broadcast ministry of recently fired Harvest founder James McDonald, was used to develop a deer herd at Camp Harvest in Michigan. And $1 million in Walk in the Word funds were used to pay liabilities for Harvest Bible Fellowship when the organization dissolved in 2017. Now, a couple of times I've said, like on here, that I don't begrudge, say, McDonald making money from Walk in the Word, because Walk in the Word is not Harvest. It's not his church. You know, it's his repurposing his intellectual property, his sermons, for another ministry, another endeavor. I'm okay with that. And I think that those sorts of Christian radio shows, they play a vital part in many ways reaching the lost. You know, there's many people who will hear a sermon on the radio who wouldn't darken the doors of a church. And it's when at least when it's good material, which McDonald's stuff rarely was, in my opinion, it's good supplemental material for, you know, your Christian growth. It's not a substitute for church, but you know, those sort of parachurch ministries and media endeavors, they do good work. At least in theory, they can. And I don't begrudge a pastor making money from those any more than I would a pastor making money from book sales. You know, if he writes a book, you know. That said, though, if you're a pastor and you branch out into that, I think you need to keep that as separate as possible from your church as you can. And I realize that's not the easiest thing in the world to do, because obviously, you know, you're repurposing sermons you gave at your church. But you really need to draw a line between the two things, because you don't want your church dragged into, you know, a media, I don't know, empire. That isn't what your church should be. So yeah, I would say that there should have been very, 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 very clear boundaries between Walk in the Word as an institution, you know, the show, and Harvest Bible, the church. I'm sure there wasn't, but I would say there very much should be. And that goes for any similar situation. See. But on Sunday, I reported what was probably the grossest misappropriation of funds. According to past Harvest executives, McDonald used church funds to pay for lavish personal expenses, including an African safari, Florida vacation, expensive cigars, and more. What's perhaps most shocking about this revelation is not only did the church know and approve these expenditures, so did Harvest auditors Kep and Krause, according to Harvest elder Bill Spurgley. I'm sorry, Bill Sperling. This, of course, raises concern about Captain Krause, but also raises concern about ECFA, which certainly should have known about these expenditures too. Since November, I have been requesting interviews with Dan Bubsey, president of ECFA. He has declined to interview me with me every time. However, Bubsby released the following statement to the Christian Post yesterday. The new information alleging financial impropriety at Harvest Bible Chapel is obviously a cause for significant concern. We will be addressing the implications of these allegations immediately and expect to have more information about ECFA's response in the coming days. I sincerely hope the ECFA is concerned, but given ECFA's inability to spot financial impropriety at Harvest, I'm concerned too. Not just about Harvest, but about ECFA. This group offers its seal of approval to 2,200 evangelical Christian organizations, which allegedly comply to ECFA's 7 standards. I think we need to bookmark those and see if we can't. Hang on. Okay, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a look at those here in a little bit. In November, I sent an email to Bubsy. I keep wanting to say Bubsy, like the fucking video game character. No, Busby, through his public relations representative, with the following specific requests about Harvest. 2 former staff members have told me that Harvest has a black budget. WatchingMyBudgetGoBlack.com. About 20% of the budget that only select people within the organization see. For example, the person who used to do payroll for the church said he paid 380 of the church's 400 employees, but the top 20 executives were paid by Fred Adams, presumably under the authority of the executive committee. That's not suspicious at all, but he wasn't sure. Similarly, the former comptroller said 20% of the budget was kept secret from him. This included money for top expended executive salaries and other unspecified projects. Is this common at mega churches? Is this something the ECFA monitors? Top salaries of Harvest employees and those of the McDonald family are determined by a small executive committee of elders, but the larger board is not aware of those salaries, nor do they ratify them. Does this practice violate Step 6 in ECFA's compensation setting standards? What salary range does ECFA consider acceptable for senior pastors of a church at the size of Harvest? Does McDonald's salary fall within that range? Sources have told me that James McDonald has created numerous LLCs and that these LLCs are paid funds by the various ministries within the church. So McDonald may not get a salary directly from these ministries, but instead it goes to one of the LLCs. Can you confirm this or is not? Can you confirm this is or is not happening? Harvest has bought 2 church buildings by creating 2 LLCs that buy the buildings and then lease them back to the church at 6% interest. At least 2 executive committee members, quote, disqualified persons, unquote, are part owners of those LLCs. Is ECFA aware of this? If so, can the ECFA confirm that the larger board ratified these agreements with full disclosure of the disqualified person's participation? Harvest has many ministries under the umbrella of the church: Walk in the Word, Vertical Church Worship, Harvest Christian Academy, the former Harvest Bible Fellowship, etc. The money between these ministries seems rather fluid. For example, when Harvest consolidated the former Harvest Bible Fellowship, it took $1 million from Walk in the Word to balance the books. Is this okay? Also, Harvest has used hundreds of thousands of dollars from Walk in the Word to create and maintain a deer herd at Camp Harvest. Proceeds from the herd, which are small in comparison to the cost, go to Camp Harvest scholarships. The main reason Harvest Bible Fellowship pastors cited for the fellowship dissolving was that they confronted Harvest Bible Chapel for using HBF money for its own purposes instead of the purposes of the fellowship. They have also complained that Harvest could not support the allocation of about $573K. Can ECFA vouch for Harvest's allocation of this money? I also sent a follow-up email inquiring about former Harvest CIO Jeffrey Parham, who was reported to authorities for allegedly embezzling $270,000 from the church since at least 2017. how do you embezzle money from this church? It seems like everybody could just take it. It just okay, I think we got to take a look at this article here too. How do you embezzle money from the church? I thought it seemed like McDonald could just take some whenever he wanted it. I wondered, as many have, how could this have occurred without Captain Krause or ECFA noticing? I also sent emails to Captain Krause requesting an interview, but the organization did not respond. ECFA responded with a statement announcing that the group would do an on-site evaluation of Harvest. The evaluation occurred on December 10th, after which Busby sent the following statement. Pardon me. As part of its ongoing compliance review process, ECFA staff were on site at Harvest Bible Chapel earlier this month. Of particular interest was the church's compliance with ECFA standards number 6, compensation setting and related party transaction. Harvest Bible is in full compliance with each of ECFA's 7 standards of responsible stewardship and remains a member in good standing with ECFA. That was on December 10th, they said that. This is absolutely stunning, given the financial abuse at Harvest and evidence that ECFA's accreditation may be nothing more than a false assurance. I have again reached out to Busby and requested an interview for the sake of thousands, potentially hundreds of thousands of donors. I hope he agrees to one. Given ECFA's glaring failure at Harvest, these donors deserve answers.
I did not see that coming, and frankly, I'm out of Mein Kampf Fort Zone.
So, over at the ECFA site, we have the 6 standards, or what was it? 7 standards, I guess. Yeah, of course it was 7.
You don't know. I didn't give it to him. He took it.
Whoa. What? No, he took it? You're Iron Man, and he just took it?
So standard 1 is doctrinal issues. Every organization shall subscribe a written statement of faith clearly affirming a commitment to evangelical Christian faith, or shall otherwise demonstrate such commitment, and shall operate in accordance with biblical truth and practices. Standard 2 is governance. Every organization shall be governed by a responsible board of not less than 5 individuals, a majority of whom shall be independent, who shall meet at least semi-annually to establish policy and review its accomplishments. Standard 3, financial oversight. Every organization shall prepare complete and accurate financial statements. The board or a committee consisting of a majority of independent members shall approve the engagement of an independent certified public accountant, review the annual financial statements, and maintain appropriate communication with the independent certified public accountant. The board shall be apprised of any material weaknesses in internal control or other significant risks. Standard 4, use of resources and compliance with laws. Every organization shall exercise the appropriate management and control necessary to provide reasonable assurance that all of the organization's operations are carried out and resources are used in a responsible manner and in conformity with applicable laws and regulations, such conformity taking into account biblical mandates. Standard 5, transparency. Well, they violated the ever-loving hell out of that. Every organization shall provide a copy of its current financial statement upon written request and shall provide other disclosures as the law may require. The financial statements required to comply with Standard 3 must be disclosed under the standard. Standard 6, compensation setting and related party transactions. Every organization shall set compensation of its top leaders and address related party transactions in a manner that demonstrates integrity and propriety in conformity with ECFA's policy for excellence in compensation setting and related party transactions. Boy, that Standard 6 kind of says nothing. Standard 7 is stewardship of charitable gifts, and then there's a bunch of subcategories under here. Truthfulness and communications, giver expectations and intent, charitable gifts communication, acting in the best interest of givers, percentage compensation for securing charitable gifts. Well, I would definitely say that if Harvest Bible has been continuously up to December of last year getting ECFA stamps, then the ECFA means nothing. that it means nothing as an organization. It's about as meaningful as the Comics Code stamp of approval was by the late 90s. That is telling. Looks like okay, I was just checking to see if I had any recent super chats. Everybody's still arguing about Yang in the chat, it looks like. So yeah, I would say definitely that the ECFA is it's worthless at this point. I mean, we read the article Sunday about the shocking quantities of cash this man was pilfering from the church. Looks like oh yeah, people in the chat are talking about the Irini thing. Yeah, he said he was going to stream snipe me sometime or do a stream about the manifold sins of Chris the comic book guy Bechtloff. So we'll see if that happens. I mean, I kind of hope it does. It sounds like fun.
A great opportunity for super chats and other self-promotion.
Which, speaking of which, by the way, folks, tonight's show is sponsored by the good folks at Steve's Jerky. Steve's Jerky, of course, is delicious. It is nutritious. And in my personal experience, it will defend you against the curses of wizards and warlocks. So get you some Steve's Jerky. It's fantastic. And the more you check out my sponsor, the more they want to be my sponsor. So that's a win-win. You get jerky, I get more Steve shekels. So it's a win-win. And also down below, you will see the tip jar where you can check out the PayPal, the Patreon, and the Amazon wish list if you wish to support the show. Getting back to the Davis thing for a second here. I apparently Hadroon and I'm sorry, I accidentally correctly pronounced her stupid made up name, Hadron. And Furberger apparently having a big old back and forth contemplating killing themselves. I'm not making this up, guys.
What?
I am not. They're sitting there talking about how life is suffering and life is meaningless. And they're basically singing the MASH theme song on us. Suicide is painless.
It brings on many changes. And I can take or leave it if I please.
There you go. Oh man, it's funny. It's very, very funny. I kind of miss Free Folk guys. I miss you. Come back. We were having so much fun. Come back to us. Come on, let's discuss the trifold hypothesis some more. The Triforce hypothesis of how society is going to be structured in a way where you just happen to be on top.
I so hope you'll enjoy it. Life is a meaningless misery.
Somebody says, didn't they quit the internet because they were winning so much? They sure did. But yeah, Davis a couple of days ago had said, I'm going to do a stream and I'm going to do it when Bechtloff is streaming just to piss him off. And it'll be the manifold sins of Chris, the comic book guy Bechtloff. Well, the only regular time I have is Saturday. So maybe he'll do that show while I'm doing the regular Saturday show. And that's fine. We can do a little Bechtloff's Outpost afterwards listening to it. That's fine. Now they're ready to die. Yeah, apparently. That TFW, that face win, no success with pagan cult. Why even live? Oh man. Imagine wanting to kill yourself because the internet didn't work out. What the fuck, man? Some nerd made fun of me on the internet. Fucking life is meaningless. Just like as they're typing that, the entire Linkin Park discography fucking plays in the background all at once. Come on, man.
Like a preacher needs pain, like a needle needs a vein, guys need porn.
Just shut up and ring up my order, Hot Topic clerk. Shouldn't you be selling Invader Zim keychains to people? Oh. Woo lad, the wooest of lads. Well, if they do their fucking Ann Hero live stream on YouTube, I'll have to have Luke catch it in a hurry before it gets yanked down.
More power! Give me more power!
Even like the screen caps I saw, even Davis is like, guys, come on, it's not that bad. Life is suffering. Existence is pain. Chill out, Mr. Meeseeks. Okay, it'll be okay. Like, I mean, come on, just go outside. Like, go. Like, don't you have anything you like doing, guys? I mean, I don't know. I mean, y'all seem like big Game of Thrones fans. I'm sure there'll be new episodes soon. Like, come on, man, chill out.
Chaos isn't a pit. Chaos is a ladder.
Jeez. Oh. Well, I guess that's all I had tonight. Luke, you got any thoughts for tonight? Probably wrap this up soon. I guess not.
I just enjoy what you can and don't let it become ironic for the sake of irony.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna throw out platitudes there about how life is always worth living. You know what I mean? Like if I was like paraplegic and stuck in a nursing home and had no friends left or something, yeah, I might be like, maybe I should ride this wheelchair off the roof or something. Like, okay, yeah, I get it. There's times when maybe things don't seem like worth living. I get it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat reality for you, but come on. It's like people made fun of me on the internet. Why live? Come on, man. Chill out. All right. I was being a fag on the internet and everyone laughed at me. Why live? Well, maybe stop being a fag. I don't know what else to tell you.
How would you like to die, Tyrion, son of Tywin?
My own bed, at the age of 80, with a belly full of wine and a girl's mouth around my cock.
What's that from?
Game of Thrones.
It's fantastic.
Tyrion has the best lines. He's the midget you always see.
You know what movie's really good, and I just caught it again recently, and I'd forgotten about it for so long. You ever see the movie Your Highness?
No.
It's this like parody like fantasy movie, and it's starring I can't remember it's starring the guy that played Harry Osborn in the Spider-Man movies, and it's also starring the guy who was he was in like that baseball movie or that baseball show that was on HBO, and Natalie Portman I think is in it too, and Zoe Deschanel's in it. But it is so fucking funny, dude. It is so unbelievably funny. Oh man, it's from like 2011. Yeah, watch Your Highness.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. What's it? Who makes those movies?
I mean, it's kind of that stoner humor, but it's not as grating as a lot of those movies because it's done in the fantasy setting. You know what I mean? It feels a lot fresher in a lot of those movies. Like they go visit the wizard, like the two brothers as they're going on this quest. They go visit this wizard, and he hands them like the the herbs to get a vision. You know what I mean? And the guy's like, he's holding his head. He's like, "Oh, I'm getting a powerful vision. Are you seeing this, brother?" And his other brother, who's like a huge pothead, just looks at him. He goes, "I see you making a fool of yourself. Handle your shit." And like he finds out the wizard is like this little like Muppet creature. It looks like something out of Dark Crystal. And they find out that like the stoner brother finds out that the stoner guy finds out his brother was probably molested by this wizard as a kid. Like he's all like, "We would have sleepovers," and the wizard's all like, "Playful secrets." Oh, that movie! Danny McBride and James Franco are the name of the actors. Thank you, Ian McDonald. Yeah, that movie's so fucking funny. Oh, somebody says, "What do you think of the box office success of Captain Marvel?" I think it's bullshit, is what it is. I don't think it's real. I have seen a couple articles, and a bunch of people talking on social media about the fact that all these sold out shows for Captain Marvel would have like 10 to 20 people sitting in the fucking theater. And all these other people who supposedly bought these advanced tickets or tickets online never showed up.
Oh.
I think some books are getting cooked. Forney just said, "You know, it would cheer up Hadron and Furburger. Wait for it. $1,000 a month." Well, honestly, I mean, if it makes them happy, you just gave me another reason not to support Yang. But yeah, Your Highness is funny as hell. I actually recommend checking out that movie. Oh, that movie's so fucking fun.
Thaddeus has been coming here since he was a boy.
You did this when you were a child.
Yes.
We had great times, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
You.
That movie's so great.
Free folk will fail in saving the West, and Hadron Collider will have to eat them both.
They did fail. They did fail in saving the West. We're all doomed. Now all the alt-righters are supporting Chairman Mao because he promised them government-issued girlfriends. It's over. It's over, folks. So yeah, that's about all we got for tonight. I want to thank you all for listening. Like I said, if you support the show, if you like the show, consider supporting the show. We got Patreon, PayPal, and Amazon wishlist, as well as our sponsor, Steve's Jerky. And that's about all we got for tonight, folks. Want to thank you all for listening. Bechtloff out.